Create-a-thon. That's a 10,000 subscriber celebration here on my channel. Life is messy, but I'm learning as I grow. Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Ellen. I am the hands behind the channel, and I am so excited to be here with you today. We've had a great day so far. I loved my early morning opening ceremony where we had coffee and discussed things. That was really fun. I really enjoyed talking to you this morning. Then we had a Dollar Tree haul that was rudely interrupted by the neighbor's cat. But after it spooked me and I cleaned up the coffee I spilled after being spooked, we resumed for the rest of the haul and then went right into crafting, where we made a Thanksgiving turkey gnome that is adorable. So if you missed that, you're going to want to go back and watch that, okay? And then after that, we made our second craft, which was a beautiful shovel with flowers. I'm like, I should have just showed you, but they're all the way over there. I'm staying here for now. I will show you again, though, before we say goodbye for the day. And then we make, last noon, we baked a cake. Okay, and right now that cake is in the freezer. It's cooling down. We're gonna icing it at 2, and we're gonna celebrate together one last time. But now it's time to make soup. That's right, because in case you didn't know it, I have a soup cookbook. That's right. Can you believe it? I never even knew how to cook. Let's say about 8 years ago, I didn't even know how to cook. Okay. And slowly but surely I've learned, and now I have a cookbook? What? It's shocking, but it's awesome, and I'm so happy that you guys and this channel has been able to let me, make a dream come true. So this is my cookbook. It's available for sale on Amazon.com. There is a link on the description of this video where you can find it. It's only $9.99 right now. And you can actually look at the first few pages for free. So, like, if you wanted to try the first, I believe the first 2 soups are available. So, if you want to try, I believe it's mushroom soup and pea soup are actually available there for free to view. So, if you just want to test those out, you can, okay? And every single recipe in this book, there is a video that goes with it on my channel. So you can cook all of these things without the book, but if you prefer to have all the written instructions, tips and tricks, I even have some additional places where you can take notes and learn how to cook. And in the back, I even have places where you can write your own recipes. So I really tried to make it really fun and cool. This is all Instant Pot soups, okay? You can make them on a stovetop if you do not have an Instant Pot. Unfortunately, the directions aren't provided because I don't know how to do that. I make them in the Instant Pot. So, sorry about that. So check this cookbook out. Also, I'm coming out with another cookbook in, I'm going to say it's going to be out by Christmas, definitely. I just do not have an exact date yet. I have to wait for the editor to edit it, and then it should be good to go. So it should be out before Christmas. There is a link in the description that'll take you to, at any point in time you watch this, if you click that link, it'll take you to any of the books that I have out at that time, okay? So click on that link, it'll show you this book, and once the other one's ready, it'll be on there too. So check it out. That book is, by the way, going to be all breakfast. I'm really excited for it. But I wrote this book last winter, and it was, well, it came out last winter. So in the fall of last year, I was making and testing so many soups, okay? So much so that my son is just, he had had enough. He had had enough of soups. He doesn't like them because they are wet. And unfortunately, there's not much you can do to make a soup not wet, okay? That's like, I think that's like one of the things that defines a soup. Anybody ever had a dry soup? If you've had a dry soup, like, send me that recipe because I need to make that for my son. So after he put up with so many soups when I made this book, I said, you can pick the theme to my next cookbook. But you have to pick from my choices. Because I'm not going to let him just have me, he'll have me writing a book about how to make, I don't know, like some sort of little crackers or something. He likes little crackers. He'd be having me make like every flavor of little cracker. Or maybe like as many plain noodles as you can make or something. He's very has a special taste. So anyway, he was into the breakfast cookbook. He's very happy now, so don't worry about it. And I'm not making him eat soup that often, although we are having it for dinner tonight, but don't worry, I got some plain noodles for him. Anyway, so let's get cooking. How about that? If at any point in time you want to ask a question, you want to talk about anything, you want to share with me your favorite soup, your favorite anything, what's going on with you, as long as it's not inappropriate and going to make me blush, please share it in the comments below or in the description or in the live chat, okay? Because I want to build a community here. That's the one thing I think over the time we've grown the channel, and there's a lot of us, and I think like the fact that there are so many of us, I mean, like, that's a great opportunity for us to learn from each other. And I really want to learn from you guys, because I know that everybody out there watching has something that they're good at that they can share, right? Anyway, but we've been doing this for 6 minutes, so let me get this soup made. All right. All right, but we are going to use get ready to put it away. We are going to use the cookbook. So I did pre-prep some of these things because I just could not imagine myself live chopping. I cut myself enough by accident when I am not live cooking. So we're just going to go ahead and, avoid the risk of that. Okay, so I'm just going to plug in my Instant Pot, and I'm going to turn it on to saute. Okay, now, your ingredients, you're going to need 1 block of firm tofu. That's what I have in here. It's pressing to get all the juice out or the water out. I will show you that in a minute. You're going to need to clean and chop 1 small onion, 3 celery ribs, and 3 carrots. Okay, now before I wrote this cookbook, I made this recipe like 100 times without following these exact measurements of vegetables. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if you got 4 celery ribs, you could put 4 celery ribs in there and you're going to be okay. All right, if you don't have 3 carrots but you have 2, that's okay. All right, it's pretty you can be lenient with the vegetables you put in, and honestly, the more vegetables the better. Just make sure that if you're adding more things, you add a little more broth. Okay, yeah, especially if you add more noodles. Now, adding more noodles is going to change things up. So I'd say stick to the noodle recommendations, but you can add some more vegetables or more seasonings, okay, if you like them a little bit more flavorful. I think it has pretty good flavor, but my husband's always putting extras on. So you go and do you, okay? For far seasonings go, we're going to use minced garlic, turmeric, thyme, oregano, and pepper. I have all of that already measured out and put into this. I also put 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast in it, which is not in my recipe, but I would add it if I could. So if you have nutritional yeast, go ahead and add it. Okay. Now let's see. That's everything. We're going to start with the first instruction, which is combine and chop your celery, carrots, and onions. Cut your tofu into chunks, okay? We already did that except for the tofu, but I'm going to do that in a minute. We don't have to do... Don't worry, we'll get to it. Now we're going to set our Instant Pot to saute, which I did, and we're going to water saute our garlic, onions until golden brown. We're going to add in our tofu and then add in our celery and carrots, and we're going to saute for 5 minutes more. Okay, so we're going to set the book down so I do not get soup on it. And we are going to do exactly what the directions just said. So, saute is on. I'm going to put just a little bit of water in there. Now, I water saute because then I don't have to use oil. And it's really easy. Saves you a lot of calories because just a little bit of oil has a lot of calories in it. Okay, let's see. I want to make it so you can see in the Instant Pot. Hold on, give me a moment. Let's just adjust. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Whoa. All right. Is that good? All right, so we're going to add a little bit of water in. Splash. Whoa, it's hot. It's ready. All right, so we're going to add in that water, and then we're going to add in our onions. We are going to Add in our minced garlic. How much did we say we were putting in there? We're going to do 1 tablespoon, okay? And I usually do a heaping tablespoon, okay? Next, we're going to move it around in there. Where's my spatula? Alright, let's give it a mix. Smells good already. Ooh, that's really steamy. Let me back you up. Ooh, hopefully it didn't get too hot there. Alright, what was next? Next we are going to put in our tofu, it says. Okay, so let's come out a little wider for the tofu. Okay, so this is a tofu press. And what you do is you just put your tofu in it, you press it down, and it will drain out the water from your tofu, and it'll wind up in your pan, and you dump that out, use your tofu, okay? Now, long before I had a tofu press, because I took a long time to actually get one, because honestly, another thing you can do is a trick. Okay, now this was a Temu tofu press, okay? But, so it was a good deal, and that's why I got it. But before that, what you do is you put your tofu in between a bunch of towels, okay? And then you put a plate on top, a plate on the bottom. Towels, okay, so a plate, towels, paper towels, tofu, paper towels, a plate, and then heavy books, and it'll do the same trick and get the liquid out the same way. Okay, so don't worry, if you do not have a tofu press, you do not need a tofu press. But I do have to say, now that I have a tofu press, it works really well. Okay, so next is the tofu. I'm going to add that in, so we're going to go ahead. Oh, no, I do not want to end the stream. Excuse me. Thank you. Cancel. All right. Sorry about the shaking. All right, so now we're going to add in our tofu. Let me go ahead and stir it a little bit. Add a little bit more water so we don't get a lot of sticking. We're going to add in our tofu. You can, in the book it says chop it, which you can totally do. You can chop it into square-like pieces, but I'm just going to go ahead and break it up. You know, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Alright. Alright, and then it said to add in your celery. Boom. And carrots. Bam. Alright, we're going to let that cook for 5 minutes, it says. So I'm going to give it a stir first. Oh, it smells really good. Just so you know, if you haven't had tofu, it basically tastes like nothing, okay? It tastes like nothing. Now, the way that they make it taste good is with seasonings and the way you cook it and prep it. And so, if you had tofu before and you didn't like it, it might just be because of how they cooked it, okay? I'm basically saying this because I had never had tofu, gave it a try. It was terrible. Okay, I hated it. It was disgusting. I was like, never going to eat it again. And I had somebody tell me that, like, no, tofu is just so plain. You can't hate tofu. It's just, it doesn't taste like anything. All right, well, it tasted like something. But then, so anyway, tried a bunch of different other kinds of tofu recipes. At some restaurants where I was like, these are actually pretty good. And then once I started deciding to try to make my own, the first few recipes were not good. But eventually I got good at it. And now I gotta tell you, I love tofu, okay? It is good, all right? You just have to learn. You have to be patient and learn how to cook it and how to use it. But you can use it in a million different ways. I mean, in my next cookbook alone, you're gonna see there's a whole section of breakfast tofu recipes in there. There's probably like 6 or 7 tofu breakfast recipes. It's a great replacement for egg. It's a great replacement for egg. You can make a tofu out of it, but it also works really good for chicken too. In a chicken, tastes like chicken style salad, you know, like a chicken salad but with no chicken. Instead, tofu. All right, how's everybody doing? Oh, this smells good. It's making me hungry. I had a little bit of a lunch. What did I even have? Forget what I had. I was rushing around. I feel like I've been rushing around today, but I've really enjoyed spending time with you guys. I really have. So, let's see. Has it been 5 minutes? Not yet. Give it another minute or two. So, let's see. Come back out here with me. All right. So, after we saute, okay, then we're going to add broth, deglaze your pot. All right, I'm going to show you how to do that. Basically, deglazing your pot means getting everything that's stuck on the bottom of your pot unstuck. Okay, so you're going to put your broth in, and you're going to take your spatula or whatever you're using, and you can't see me because I'm over here. Anyway, and you're going to like that, okay? And that's going to scrape everything that's off of the bottom, and that way your food's not going to burn, okay? Because otherwise you'll get a burn notice, okay? So after that, we're going to deglaze our pot. I will show you when I do that. And then we're going to add in our remaining ingredients, seal the lid, and pressure cook for 3 minutes. And then once that's finished, we're going to allow our pressure to slow release. So pretty easy, right? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do that. So the next part was, who remembers? Question, test time. What was the next part? Broth. Okay, so come back out actually. Come back out over here. Okay, so here's my water. I'm going to just start with water. This is how I'm going to make this taste like chicken, okay? Now, some of you might not care whether if it tastes like chicken or not, okay? But I grew up with chicken soup, and I want to have something that tastes similar to chicken soup, okay? I don't want the chicken, but I do want the chicken flavor. And that's why this Better Than Bouillon, no chicken base is amazing, okay? If you're looking for this, you can't find it. I do have this in my Amazon affiliate shop, okay? So that's linked in the description, and you can find it there. But a lot of grocery stores do have this now, and it is amazing. All right, hold on. I gotta saute. I'm talking. I have to stir. Okay. So basically, all you need is you need to add, it says, actually, it says recipe for tofu noodle soup. Is that the same one I'm making? No, it's not. Okay, it's not. They didn't copy my recipe. Theirs has peas, though. That sounds good. I'm going to have to try that. Pepper? All right. So anyway, this is a new bottle. Let me get it open. And all it is just like, you know, it's like a paste. You're going to add, okay, I'm going to turn off saute off the Instant Pot and give it one more stir a second because I don't want it to burn while we're talking. All right, you're basically going to add, what does it say? I usually add a little more, to be honest, but it says add 1.5 tablespoons of no chicken base to 8 ounces of water. Basically, I do about one tablespoon per cup, right? But I also don't overfill it or go overboard because a little will go a long way. And honestly, if you make it and you taste it and you feel like it needs a little bit more of a broth flavor, then you can always add more. I have done that in the past. Okay, so basically you just put that into a warm water, you give it a stir, and it will make your broth. And since we're putting into a hot pot and everything, it doesn't matter if it's all dissolved because it's just gonna, hold on, let me back you back in. Whoop, there we go, you're back into the pot, everybody. All right, we're gonna pour in our, let me give it one more stir just in case. All right, now remember I said we're gonna deglaze our pot. So this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna put in our broth. Okay, need a little bit more. Hold up. Because we're putting 8, make sure this is right. Yes, 8 cups of water. Feels like a lot, but it's not. It's not a lot. It's just the right amount. All right. Just want to make sure I get all the delicious broth seasoning on there. All right, what else do we need to add? We need to add our seasonings. I measured these out earlier. Hold on, let's zoom you out. There we go. Seasonings. And give that a stir. And then last but not least, our noodles. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. All right, and you're gonna make sure this, whenever you're cooking noodles, you wanna make sure all the noodles are down into your liquid. There's plenty of liquid in this. It's not a problem. Sometimes you have to do that. All right, so now I'm checking to make sure that my sealing ring is secure, because sometimes that comes off on my pot. We're gonna go ahead and close it, and we're going to seal it. Come back out over here with me, and we're gonna cook. Okay, and we made a mess already. Just clean this thing off. All right, so we're gonna cook 5 minutes. Oh, no, sorry, 3 minutes. Pressure cook for 3 minutes. So we're hitting manual, and we're gonna put it on 3, and we're going to just leave it there, and then it's going to cook for us. So let's just wait a second, make sure it says beep, beep, beep. And the beep, beep, beep means it is cooking, and we have made a soup. The Instant Pot is going to do the rest. I'm gonna back it up a little bit out of the way so it can cook, not too close to my face. And I'm going to straighten up some of this mess. If anybody has anything they'd like to share, ask. Now's a good time. I'm just going to straighten up a bit. I think today's going really well. This has gone a lot more smooth than I had worried. I thought for sure cooking was going to make a big mess, but other than me spilling my coffee all over the place at 9 a.m., we're on a great move. Guys, I have that, we know that feeling when you feel like you've been up for a long time and you're like getting a little loopy. I feel like that. But to be honest, I didn't sleep well. I was nervous about today, but that's okay. That's okay. I actually thrive at night. That's when I do a lot of my videos. I do my crafting during the day when no one's home, because it's quiet and I can concentrate and I can make a big, huge mess with everything and then clean it up before anybody realizes I did it. So yeah, so basically, that's what I do during the day with my channel. But at night, I love to edit. I don't know what it is. I do my editing. So I'm just gonna take a seat. We can look at the cookbook while this cooks. Oh boy. Just wipe down whatever, if I got anything on here, so I don't get it on my book. Although, true sign that you've used your cookbook is that it's got food on it, right? That was one thing about library books. You know, cookbook library books. You don't want to get food on them. Alright, so yeah, here it is. This is my cookbook that I wrote, and we are making the tofu noodle soup right now. Smells really good, but there's a lot of other ones in here too. If you have any questions about the book, I'll gladly show you them now, or answer them now, since we have time while the soup cooks. Let's see. We'll just go through it, and if anybody has any questions, go ahead and ask. So basically, you know, just an introduction. You got your table of contents, so it makes it easy for you to be able to find everything. I love that. Now, you might be wondering, like, what is this? here. And basically I just made it like a recipe reflection page, because when you cook with the Instant Pot, you have a lot of flexibility. Like I said, when we were making this recipe, you can add more carrots and celery and onion. It's not going to make a big difference, you know, like it's, as far as cook wise, you know, like it might make a big difference in as far as your taste and how much you enjoy it. Like if you love carrots and you want to put more carrots in, you know, that's going to make it even better for you. You know, so, but there might be something, you might make this recipe and you're like, oh, yuck, like, why did you put carrots in this? Next time I'm not putting carrots in this, right? So then you could use this page over here, just asking some questions like, what did you like about this recipe? What didn't you like? What items would I, notes to your future self, okay? So like, if you're going to make this recipe again, what would you substitute if you would? Would you add anything different? Would you take anything out? Would you change any measurements? Basically like that, because that's just something that I've learned as I've learned to cook, and I've been compiling my recipes and writing my master cookbook. Basically, it's a giant binder full of recipes that I've been making, and you know, over time you'll see like I'll scratch some stuff out and I'll add something, you know, because over, like, just like we made this chicken-ish tofu noodle soup. And when I used to make that, when I came out with the book less than a year ago, I never put nutritional yeast in it, and now I put nutritional yeast in it, and I would put that in the cookbook. Is the recipe delicious without it? Yes. Yes, it's very delicious with or without it. But, you know, I added in for a little bit more nutrition, and I don't foresee me taking it out. So, you know, but that would be something I would want to make a note in, so that'd be something like you could do as well. Are we stuck on an ad? Sorry, my oh no, hopefully you guys have not been waiting for me to respond. I'm behind somehow. Alright, if you did ask any questions or say anything and I didn't get to you, please ask again, okay? Please ask again. I will be happy to answer your questions. Alright, it doesn't look like I missed anybody, but if at any point in time, just let me know. All right, so yep, split pea soup, delicious. It's one of my favorites. Mushroom soup. What else do we got? I'm just gonna go through and show you which each one is real quick, and we'll see how the soup's going after that. All right, so tomato soup, yummy. Cream of broccoli. Creamy potato soup. This one is another favorite, cauliflower bisque soup. This tastes just like a creamy seafood soup, or like a cream of crab soup. Like I really, like, I'm from Maryland. We eat some crab soup here, okay? I think we're pretty much known for it. And I like it, but you know, I can't have that cream. So I recreated it with this cauliflower, and it is so good. Cauliflower Old Bay. Raw cashews? Who would have thought raw cashews would give you such a creamy soup? But it does, and it's amazing. So I really highly recommend you giving this a try. And one thing too is it's cheaper. It's cheaper to cook with cauliflower than it is with crab meat. If you can make cauliflower taste like crab, I mean, that's better for you, for the environment, and for your budget. So try it, you know. Can't hurt anything. Well, might make you a little gassy. It is cauliflower. But anyway, then we have the sweet potato carrot soup. This was really good. This was really good. I was surprised. I've had sweet potato. I thought, I don't know, the carrot really balances the sweet potato. So that was good. Butternut squash soup. Creamy kale potato soup. This was a good one. Sweet potato kale soup. I can only really eat kale in soup. Something about the texture bothers me. But in soup, I love it. So that's one thing you could try if you're trying new fruits or vegetables and you're not really sure if you like them or not. Maybe try them prepared differently, because it makes a difference. Okay, this is another tofu soup. This one is when, okay, so right now we're making the chicken style tofu noodle soup. This is a, like a beef stew style tofu stew. Really good. And we actually use the a different flavor of the Better Than Bouillon broth. They also have a no beef beefless beef broth. That is a tongue twister. Okay, no beef. I'm not even going to be able to say it. It's a beefless beef broth. Ah, I think I did it. All right. Yes, and it's by Better Than Bouillon. Anyway, I use it to make this. Really good. Highly recommend. Here's the one we're making now. Corn chowder. That was really good. That was something different. We don't eat a lot of corn, but I do like it. Oh, hamburger soup. Now this was really good. It kind of reminded me of Hamburger Helper a little bit, but like better because it had like way more vegetables and you know it was a little obviously more broth to it than Hamburger Helper, but yum, really good. And for this, I did add a plant-based meat in it, so it has like a ground beef crumble, and I usually make it with Beyond Meat or Impossible Meat, but you could also use other options. And honestly, I don't know if it would be a hamburger soup without some sort of burger, but it would be a good soup regardless, because yum. Okay, nochi soup, we liked that. I wasn't a huge fan of that just because I'm not a huge fan of nochi, but my husband loves it, and he loves this soup. Okay, so, and it's very, very easy to make. Everything is, this particular recipe, you can buy everything already done up. It's frozen vegetables. It's package of nochi already made, diced vegetables. So basically this soup can be made super fast and it's pretty good. Like I said, not a fan of the nochi, but I did taste it, and I love the broth, the flavor of the broth, and my sons and my husband really, really love this. So highly recommend from them for that one. Lasagna soup, I love this because it's like that really good lasagna flavor you want, but like without all of the work of a lasagna. Make sure if you're watching, hit like for me, okay guys? Yeah, so lasagna, but also it adds some extra veggies. Like this one, you can add any 12-ounce bag of frozen vegetables, really. And I went with broccoli, and it just goes so well together. And the Beyond sausage links I used in it, so good, so good. All right, so next page, I can smell the the pot hasn't reached pressure yet, but it smells good. All right, let me just double check, make sure I'm not missing anybody's messages, because I think my computer's like done. Oh, good, hello, Heather, Chronic Condition Crafting. Yes, 10K, it is a blessing. It's such a blessing. I am very, very happy and thankful so much. And I'm thankful for you. You've been a loyal supporter since the beginning, right? I feel like that. Heather's got a great channel too, so you guys should go check her out. So this is the broccoli and cheese soup, and it does not have any actual cheese in it. You use nutritional yeast and carrots and potatoes to make this taste like cheese. New England clam chowder. Ooh, I love New England clam chowder. When I was little, it was like one of my favorite soups to get. But you know, I never made that. I never made it because I didn't know how to handle the clams and how to prepare clams. But then once we took the clams out of the equation to make this vegan, it didn't seem as overwhelming. And I said, you know, I really want that like creamy taste. So I did that by using raw cashews again. Heart of palm is what I use to replace the texture of the clams. I couldn't even think what I was, and I'm not calling it New England clam chowder because there's no clams. It's just New England chowder, okay? And because we have to put something in it, right? We can't just have broth. I packed it full of carrots and potatoes, onions. There's potatoes in it, right? Yeah, there's potatoes. I thought so. Potatoes, onions, celery. Really, really good. Super creamy. Super delicious. and really, really easy to make. It's amazing. All the things you can make. Like a cream soup with cashews. Actually, that's one of the things it says here in the tips that I want to point out. When you're cooking with cashews, and all my recipes that call for raw cashews, make sure that you get raw cashews, okay? I know roasted cashews are cheaper, and I know roasted cashews are easier to find. And I know that you're going to be tempted to want to use roasted cashews. And do you know how I know this? Let me tell you, I know it because I've done it. I've done it more than once. And guess what? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Roasting those cashews took whatever the delicious goodness out of it that we need for these recipes, took it out. Are they still delicious? Yes, they are. And they're still yummy. And there's still a lot of good things about roasted cashews. So enjoy your roasted cashews, okay? But do not use them for these recipes, okay? And don't skip that part and think, who cares if they're roasted or not? No, really, they will not work the same, okay? So that's just a little tip. What I wrote, you will not get the same outcome, okay? You will not get the same outcome if you use roasted cashews. All right, so then there's minestrone soup. This is a really easy one to make too, and so delicious. There's creamy vegetable soup. Another favorite, I love French onion soup, but I didn't know how I was going to make it vegan because French onion soup has that like delicious thick layer of cheese. And although I have found a lot of good vegan cheeses, none of them really seem like they would work in place of what I'm used to seeing on a French onion soup. So basically, it took me a while to figure it out, but I basically came up with like a cashew cheese, that you put, I believe I put it on top, right? Yeah, sorry. I haven't made this one in a while. This one's a more complicated one to make, but it is really so worth it. I mean, I would have I ate every single drop of this soup, okay? So good. So yeah, it's a plant-based cheese that I use in this, and oh, so good. All right. Oh, this is the cheese. Isn't that great? Wasn't that nice for them to put the cheese recipe that you're going to use for the soup right here? That is so nice. All right. So yes, you'll make this cheese and you'll use it on top of the soup, and it is so good. And then you can also use this cheese to make, I put this on pizza. You can use it as a dip. It's very versatile. It says all the different ways you can use it here. Vegetable soup. Cabbage soup. This is a really healthy soup. I used to do Weight Watchers back at one point. And I don't know if they still recommend it, but they have that cabbage soup, that 0 point soup. And this is basically that 0 point soup, okay? So don't quote me because it's been really, really long time since I did Weight Watchers, so things have changed. So don't quote me on the points, but definitely check out this cabbage soup. The recipe is on my channel, and it is really low in calories because it's just vegetables. It's bell peppers, onions, celery, tomatoes. That's it, and a really delicious broth. So really healthy. This is a really good healthy soup to have. Oh, now this one is crazy, right? What the heck is dill pickle soup? Have you ever heard of such a thing? I hadn't heard of such a thing until I started researching soups, okay? And then once I started researching soups, because I said my cookbook wasn't long enough, I need to make more soups. So I came across learning that the dill pickle soup is actually like a Polish traditional soup. I never heard of that. I actually have some Polish in my ancestry. I've never once heard of dill pickle soup, but I do like dill pickles. Okay, so I was intrigued, and I said I have to give this a try. Okay, I have to. So I made it, and gosh, it was so good. I used my fresh dill that I grew in the garden. Really good. Actually, I have to make this one next. The only thing is that it took a lot of pickles, and my little pickle pal. Okay, I have one son that will eat a lot of pickles lately. Okay, And he wants the juice too. So I was like, I gotta save the juice for this soup. It's like, oh man. Anyway, hopefully you can't get sick from drinking pickle juice. I guess I would have learned that when I was young. All right, so pumpkin soup, perfect for this time of year. Okay. Oh, you hear that? Oh, it's coming to pressure. It smells so good. I wish you could smell it. Okay, African peanut stew. This is another one that I learned how to make just for this book. Oh no, I'm getting it sticky. That's what I said that. How did that happen? Because I washed this off first. Oh well, that's what I said. The sign of a good cookbook is that it has food on it. That means you've used it. African peanut stew. This is one I had never heard of either. But, you know, when I was searching for different kinds of soups I'd never heard of, it came across it. And I tested the recipe a couple times because it has peanut butter in it. And there was a couple different recipes I tried that just had like too much peanut butter or like just not even enough peanut butter to tell there was peanut butter. So this one took some time to get down to this finished version, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I highly recommend putting some crushed peanuts on top because it really gives that extra like crunch to it since it's a very smooth soup. Anyway, Italian wedding soup. This was another one I had but only from a can. And I was like, I need to learn how to make that because it's just really, it's really good. So the one thing with this one that was challenging was I wanted to, you know, it has to have the mini meatballs, but no meat. So I made, and they're sausage meatballs. They're not beef meatballs. So you can't just buy the Beyond meatballs that are already made. That won't work. I mean, could you put the Beyond meatballs in a soup? Probably. But I did want it to have a more like sausage type flavor to it. So what I did was I got the packs of the Beyond sausage links, and then I cut the links, and once you do that, it's basically a ground, and I went ahead and made meatballs that way. Also now they sell a ground sausage, which you could also use. So yeah, really good. And it's packed with spinach. Highly recommend trying that. I think that might be, is that the last one? No, we have one more recipe in the book, and that's the sausage and cabbage soup. This one's really good as well. All right, so we've gone through the whole cookbook waiting for this to cook, and I'm telling you, it is not finished yet, but it is coming to pressure. I can smell it. On the back of the book, I have pages where you can add your own soup recipes. I kind of selfishly added this here because I hope to continue to make more soup recipes over time, and well, I want them in this book. I want them, all of my soup recipes together in one spot. So I went ahead and added some extra pages for personal reasons, but hopefully everybody will benefit from that because I don't know, something about having all your recipes together, even if you don't want to use this template, but you just want to like store your extra additional pages, like glue it or staple it or whatever, something like that, you know, whatever works for you, but like just to keep them all in one spot, I thought was a really good idea. And like I said, every single recipe in this book is a video on my channel, okay? So if you do get the book and then you need to find the recipe, every single one has the link that you can find the particular video to every soup, okay? And I think that's really helpful because you don't need the book to make the recipes, and you don't need the videos to make the recipes, but they go really well together because, you know, I'm a visual learner, so I really do enjoy learning from videos. They're very helpful, but at the same time, you know, having the recipes written so that you can refer back to is really helpful because when you, I mean, I'm sure if you're watching this cooking video, you probably watch cooking videos, and so you'll probably know that like if you have to refer back to a recipe on a video, if you have not written that down, then you have to like scroll through that whole video to try and find the recipe, you know, and not everybody puts their recipes right at the front or right at the back. Like sometimes they put each individual recipe ingredient as it comes up, and basically that's just a way to miss things for me, that I will miss things. So having them all written is really helpful. Anyway, so that's enough about that. But if you are interested in getting a copy, you can find the link in the description below, and it makes a really wonderful Christmas gift, guys. Come on, Christmas. While you're there, while you're checking out this book, check out my Amazon affiliate shop for Christmas gifts. All right, it smells so good. It's steaming. Let's see. You can check in and see what it's doing. Ooh, it's steaming. All right. I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be finished before we should take a break. I'm definitely going to get a sip of my drink. Let me go ahead and get a sip of my drink. If anybody has anything they'd like to share, talk about, I would be happy to chat with you while I'm here. All right, well, since we are at over 45 minutes for this live stream, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go so I can have a potty break, and basically that's it. And I'm going to get out our cake, and I'm going to get out our icing and everything we need for the last hour of our Create-a-thon. I can't believe it's coming to an end already. When we come back at 2 p.m., I will have the finished soup for you, and we will have our finished cake, and we will celebrate one last time together for this 10,000 subscriber Create-a-thon, okay? Thank you for everyone that's joined me in this session and throughout the whole day, and I hope to see you all back at 2 p.m., same place, okay? See you then. Thanks, guys. Bye.